what we're going to have to test out the camera is I'm going to place the camera to where it can see into this sumac area where the deer like to hang out. And there's a nice heavy trail coming out of there. So the camera's going to be able to see that. It's going to be able to see the corn and pellet mixture, and it's going to be able to see the salt, and we're going to see what happens. All right, this is our location. This is our sumac, and hopefully you can see this is the heavy trail coming out of the sumac. I don't know if we have any actual tracks on the ground or not right now. Let's take a look here. Okay, I don't see any recent tracks coming out of there, but you know, deer patterns change with the weather conditions. Now over this way, right over here, we have an established location where there has been salt for a while and a trail camera, the cellular trail camera. That's my dad's. Also a dead deer staked out there for the coyotes that have not been coming to visit. A couple dead deer. I think his camera, this might be right over there, maybe on, yeah, I think it's just right over there. So we have the trail as an attractant. This trail here leading up to our blind has had a ton of tracks on it just within a month or so ago, probably still now. And you know, a lot of deer sign down this way towards this, we'll call it a draw, this ditch down here with all the stuff growing inside of it. So you know, I know the deer like to feed a lot all through here. You'll see a lot of their droppings in this area. So we'll centralize the camera between the, where'd our trail go? Okay, our trail comes out here, between that and between this over here. Now the camera is advertised as having an 80-foot detection range. So if I go between those two things, it shouldn't be bad, and then maybe we'll fade down towards the truck a little bit. I'm going to start stepping this off and pick out a spot. Okay, so up here is our opening coming out of the sumac. Not too far away, I don't know, maybe 30 steps, 30 feet or so. I'm going to be putting the post for the camera right here, and then up maybe this way, you know, we'll put the salt maybe here, and then now, you know what, we'll put the corn and pellet mix up here because we might be able to see that from the house. And then, you know, down this way we'll put the salt so that the camera and its 360-degree skills can be tested out. From this location, what we were looking at earlier, there's the path that leads to the food plot that had a lot of tracks on it at the end of hunting season, and then the dead deer and the other salt is up behind that cluster of junk there. So I'm going to go grab a T-post. Well, it doesn't matter which way it faces. 360 camera. Alright, so I was just thinking to myself, you know, how does the post go on the camera? Because I wanted to make sure I was facing towards my deer trail. Then I remembered it's a 360 camera, so it doesn't really matter. Now, in the app, once you get this set up, you will set which way the front of the camera is facing. So, you know, just keep in mind which way the front of the camera is facing. I will try to face it towards that opening, and I guess that matters when you check your pictures. We'll figure that out later. Pretty cold out, but the ground's definitely not frozen. That'll work. Alright, so the camera has a little plastic piece you snap in here, and it's got a hole in the middle, and that goes right over one of the bumps on the T-post. And let's see, I'm going to try to put it there. Instead of going around one of the bumps, I'm going to go between the bumps. And we're going to have to get rid of the gloves for a second to put these little thumb screws in. Alright, so I did end up putting that hole in the plastic clip over one of the bumps on the T-post, and I got the top 2 screws started. So let's see about the bottom. I just don't like how now my camera is closer to the top, you know, as far as getting pictures out this way. It's going to be kind of in the way a little bit. Okay, it is on there, and all it would take to be able to raise this up where I want it is some longer screws. So I'll just take one of these with me to the hardware store today, get longer screws, and then tomorrow I can come out and get this thing up so that camera isn't going to be blocked by that at all when it's getting pictures out this way. But yeah, it's up there. It's facing right at my opening in the sumac. So when I go on my app, I can orient, you know, which way it's facing so it knows where the front is. All right, so when you move your camera to a new location, you're going to go into the command app. You're going to hit this little down arrow on the right top side here. You're going to go to settings, and you're going to scroll down to device location, and you can hit edit, and then you're going to, you know, you can move this around, drag your camera to where it is at, and hit confirm. And then as far as which way the front of the camera is facing, you're going to go to edit for device direction, edit, and as you can see, you can pick different ways that your camera is facing and just hit confirm, and that takes care of that step. And now we need to get our salt down here and our pellet corn mix up there. All right, here's our salt and cardboard. Plop. See if they find it. Milwaukee Fastback, super handy little tool. Oh, ow, stepped on a thorn there. Oh, gotta smell it. I don't know, it kind of smells like a horse feed or something. Not a bad smell. But, you know, at least it's, I'd say, strong enough that they'll be able to pick up the scent downwind from this stuff. All right, that's about half the bag. Salt, opening, deer trail, corn and pellet mix, other salt, heavy trail, blind, general feeding area right in here, Muddy Maneuver 360, trail camera. We'll see what happens. All right, so I walked over to the, you know, right past the camera, in the back of the camera, and then I walked over to the pellets and corn. I picked it up, tasted that. If I was a deer, it's definitely something that I would eat. Spit that back out, and then I walked over to the sumac trail opening. All right, just got a picture. So I walked over to the heavy trail that comes out of the sumac, back over to my truck. So that entire time I'm, you know, pretty close to the camera and, you know, within range. So I think at least 2 pictures came through. So let's check those out. All right, signing in with fingerprint again. Thumb not as cold this time. Clicking on the photo. Okay, so this is a new picture here. A little bit foggy on the right, clear on the left. I went over to check the camera to see why I was getting that fog in that one picture. And there was fog on the one lens. There's 2 lenses, and it was on the inside. And I had then realized that I had the camera in the truck, which was
The truck had the heat on full blast. It was extremely hot in the truck, and I had just taken it out into the extreme cold. So within 10 minutes, that fog did clear up on its own.
Let's see. That one is 239. That's a new one, 240. That was me tasting the pellets. This is on the lowest resolution. That's me after I walked over to it. I was walking away from the trail. And that one there, oh, that must be, yeah, I walked real close to the camera. So I think by the time the camera spun around, I was already past it on that one. The times, they seem like they're backwards, though. Because I know I would have walked behind it first. But, you know, we can check the times as things go on here. But, yeah, it's working. All right, so it has been out for just a few hours. And this is the latest picture right here. This is on the lowest resolution. There you can see the opening into the sumac and the deer. Oh, looks like that one's actually going into the opening. That one in the middle there is eating the food. That one's staring at the opening. Those ones are up at the food. The ones on the left, maybe even that one on the right. That one's staring at the camera. They don't seem to mind the camera, though. It does make a tiny bit of noise. No click, though. I didn't notice any clicks, just that you can hear that lens spinning around a little bit. And you're going to see in this one picture, my truck was 160 yards away. So this sensitivity was on high. These first pictures I sent you that we looked at here, let me go back. These ones are with the sensitivity on low. So all these ones here are on low, and then somewhere back in here we went back to high. I think actually this one's still low here. And let's just keep going. Some of them are looking at the camera, but as long as they're not afraid of it, that's fine. I don't care what they're doing, as long as they're doing it way over there. Let's keep going here. First night of having the camera out. Wonder if they're going to eat all the food. You know, I put about half of it out. Definitely not going to be doing that every day. But I'll take that salt and put it up there where that food is at. Some of these pictures here, we're going to start seeing the deer that are further away. And like those ones there. And now this is back to where we're going to get to where my truck is at. So there's my truck in that one. You can barely see it, but this is more realistic because this one I was coming back. So that one is definitely 160 yards away. And it took a picture. Crazy. This is just the stuff from earlier, so it's working good. All right, that's the Muddy Maneuver 360 setup performance. You can check out my stuff at backyardbroadheads.com, and thanks for watching.